Up, Walk Talk Fish Gang. We are back. I got my buddy Dylan with me. It is coming along very quick. The Paylake season is right around the corner. I know that I've talked to you guys on several videos about slowing down with Paylake videos, and that is true. You know, I'm not going to be throwing out these videos like I did last year. There will be videos still. I still will post videos because I enjoy making them for you guys, and right now, to get everyone prepared for the season to come up, it starts March 1st in most of these Paylakes. Sky Lake, where we fish a lot, they're going to be starting up March 1st as long as the lakes get up to temperature. So with that being said, the series of events that's been going on the channel is I showed you buying a setup and what to look for. I showed you how to rig up your setup. Now, the next step is to talk about baits. We want to make you guys prepared to where if you get your setup, you rig it up the right way, or any other way that you like, and you get to the lake, we're trying to give you, hands down, an idea of how to fish and how to start when you get there, because I don't want you guys showing up to the lake being confused, because it's not worth being confused and being stressed. You're there to have fun. So me and Dylan are going to do the best to talk about baits that we've used in the colder months starting out. The Paylakes aren't really open in the wintertime, so the title of this video is Wintertime Paylake Baits. But it's not in the dead winter. It is in March, and we still experience that winter weather in March. So with that being said, we really just want to break down a handful of baits that we can use and fish with during these colder weather months to start the Paylake season out. And then once the middle of the season starts to hit, and the heat of summer, we'll make more videos talking about other baits to use in different weather types. So off the top of my head, I can think of two baits to use in the wintertime that are obvious, and that's shad and skipjack. What you probably fish winter
quite a bit,
a little bit more than I did last year. What other baits did you use? Because we didn't fish together all the time.
Crawlers, barely chicken, sometimes chicken. You can still use live bait, but if you're going to use live bait, go towards more of goldfish. Wouldn't really recommend bluegill because they'll die.
I did hit a blue at the beginning of the year last year on a goldfish. I'm going to track that picture down and I'll throw it up right here in the net. I actually hit it on a goldfish. I was fishing like dead, like right when the season started, and I hit one. So like four or five baits: shad, skipjack, night crawlers, chicken, and goldfish. Goldfish is a very strong live bait. Most of those fish will
they'll seem like they're dead, but they're not.
They're
they'll just lay dormant for a couple of minutes and they'll shoot back alive.
A lot of it's the color, the color, the way they look. It's the blues get attracted to it, especially especially if you can put the bait fish in front of the fish's mouth. If you can get lucky enough to get it around the fish, because the fish are still going to be very, what's that word? Very dormant, very fatigued. They're going to be very sluggish at the beginning of the year because it's still cold. But if you can get the bait in front of the fish, they just might take it. And shad, skipjack, those baits don't move. But if you get something live, you may better your chances of fishing with it. So I've caught a fish with goldfish at the beginning of last year. I think the early April into March, I've hit fish on skipjack and shad. Those are good baits all around. There's certain ways to use skipjack because you can buy them this small, you can buy them this big. You don't want to cut the skipjack directly down and have a big 2-inch piece. You want to cut that 2-inch piece, and then what you'll see is when you lift it up, it's got a big back piece and it's got like a little U piece. You want to cut that U piece off and just use that back piece. You don't need a big clump of it.
You can miss your hook sets all the times.
Yeah.
Bigger pieces because your hook points aren't exposed.
Yeah.
They bite a piece of the bait where the hook isn't, to lose ideally about inch to inch and a half piece of bait.
Yeah, because your hook, I'm using 5 and 6 hot Gamakatsu, and so when you're putting on a piece of bait, usually when you fish with cut bait, which is what you use shad and skipjack as, because this time of the year it can be rough to get live shad, if any. So you're usually using it as cut bait, body pieces, head pieces. So definitely you want to look into how big your bait is and how big your hook is, and make sure that when you hook it, your hook is going to be exposed, because a lot of these times people will put their hook in the skipjack and throw it out, but you got to take into consideration skipjack has that backbone in it, And a lot of times your hook will get stuck in that backbone, and you're thinking if the fish takes it, it will come exposed, and a lot of times that's not the case. Your hook gets stuck in there and turns itself around and does not come out.
Then you lose a fish.
Yeah, you lose a fish, and that's, in the wintertime, your bites may be far in between. And if you lose a fish, that's going to set the mood for the rest of the day. So we really just wanted to come on here and get a video up for you guys to have an idea for baits that you can take. So shad, skipjack as cut bait. Those are really well. If you can get smaller skipjack, that would be good. If you get bigger, oh well. And if you can get it fresh. Fresh and frozen are going to be two different things. I know people may get on here and they're like, oh, it's the same thing. It is the same fish. It's the same exact. But the presentation of everything is going to be key in the way that these fish can eat it. It's winter time. It's going to be soft bite, which means these fish are very sluggish. They're not completely committing to eating your bait. But if you can pay attention and have fresh bait that's a little softer, the scent is a little more stinky for these fish to grab onto, that's going to trigger the aggressiveness side to the fish to make them want your bait more. And as well as that, it's complete. I'm biased. I don't like to use frozen bait. I'll use it if I have to. I'll use frozen skip, but I would rather have fresh, and I will never use frozen shad. I will always want fresh shad. I won't even spend my money on frozen shad whatsoever. So those two you want to use as cut bait. So just pay attention to the size that you use those with to make sure that fit your hooks. So the other baits we got is chicken, crawlers, and
crawlers.
Yeah, green worms.
If you can get them, most Paylake, a lot of Paylake, some have them, some do not. Skylake personally has them. Shorties does.
I don't
Paylake
recommend.
does.
No offense to any Paylake, I don't recommend buying green crawlers from Paylake because it's outrageous what they charge sometimes.
$6-7.
Yeah.
Same with leeches. I
Yeah.
mean, if you can go buy leeches in bulk, I mean that's another good bait for winter time.
Yeah, leeches is
Water
because
or
leeches
mud
has that action, and early in the season, you get water leeches. You can't get mud leeches yet because it's too cold. But early in the season, yeah, I guess that's another bait. You can add green crawlers and leeches on there. So look about night crawlers, green crawlers, and leeches. They all have that action in the water, and it's natural soft bait that these fish are already used to when they have it. So those are a go-to. You can never go wrong with those three baits. Those are a year-round bait as well. Year-round bait. Wintertime, hot season of the months, come fall, into the season, it's a year-round bait where some of the other baits may not always be ideal. Like there's been times I've fished with a goldfish and caught fish, and then sometimes these fish just do not want live bait. It's too hot in the water, they just won't eat it, they're too sluggish, they dig deep, and they don't want to go down deep and lay there and find a live bait. They just want something easy they can eat. You think of any other baits besides the 6 we just named?
Not off the top of my head.
I mean, it's pretty self-employed. Shad, skipjack, make
Crawfish
sure.
Tails.
Yeah, Crawfish Tails is a good one too. They're expensive, like $14 a bag. You can get them from Walmart. They're really good for baby blues and channel cats, but I've caught bigger fish on them as well, and so has other people. But do me a favor, if you guys have fished in the winter months with any of these baits, whether it's shad, skipjack, crawlers, whether it's green crawlers, green worms, leeches, goldfish, chicken, comment down below and let us know if you actually fish with these, because these are baits that will help you catch fish this winter. It's not a very long video. It doesn't need to be. Get these baits, get you a setup, rig up your poles. I hope to see you guys at the lake this year. If you want to fish together, all you got to do is add the Instagram. I'll throw it up right there. It's the same thing for TikTok. Friend me on there. Drop a comment down below. As soon as these lakes start to warm up, we'll start to fish more. But I'm posting these videos out to get you guys an idea so that when the season rolls around, you're not guessing, you're not confused. You can get out on the lake, fish, and have fun, and have a little video manual on how to start your Paylake fishing. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you found this video useful, or if you find the other videos useful. I would much appreciate it. And hit that notification bell, the thing right there. So if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more, hitting the notification bell will greater your chances of learning how to fish a Paylake or fish for bass as fast as you can, because as soon as I upload it, you'll get notified and you can automatically start putting those skills to the test. I appreciate it. Water Talk Fish out.